Chondro, corner where we rise and grow. Twist and turn, let the passion flow. Chondro, corner watch the future shine. Every scale a story, one of a kind.
From the shadows we move, striking out bright. In every twist we find the light. Breeding the best, gotta have patience in this game. Chondro corner where we make our name. Chondro corner, Chondro corner, Chondro corner, Chondro corner, Chondro corner, Chondro corner, Chondro corner. Chondro corner where we rise and grow. Twist and turn, let the passion flow. Chondro corner, watch the future shine. Every scale a story, one of a kind.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 59 of the Chondro Corner. Tonight, we will be bringing Keith on to talk about his first ever clutch. To all of the early birds, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. We're starting it off with 15 viewers already, which is awesome. So thank you again for the support. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring Keith on and get this started. Hey.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I can't complain. Thank you.
Well, thank you for jumping on here with me and doing my last solo interview together. That's awesome.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
So let's just start at the beginning. What got you into reptile keeping?
Jesus. I mean, I remember being really, really young, a young kid. Not really having much experience or exposure to a lot of reptiles. I remember going to a local store back when I was young in Essex, I think it was, and they had some bearded dragons, and that was the first time I actually really got to experience seeing reptiles up close and, in person. And I got my first bearded dragon from them, and I think it was another month later I got another one, and I kept those for a little bit. I think I was maybe 6 or 7. I was pretty young. Of course, I wasn't the one actually taking care of them. My parents were. When you're that age, that's usually how it goes. So I didn't get to keep them all that long. But after I did get them, that was the start of my kind of obsession with reptiles and wanting to get more and learn more about them.
So at what point did you transition from mom and dad keeping your bearded dragons and feeding them their live bugs
to me doing it myself? It wasn't until I was maybe... Gosh, I was late in my teenage years, I believe, and I got started trying to get into ball pythons, and I used to watch a lot of Snake Bites TV from Brian Barczyk, and he was a big inspiration to me getting over my fear of snakes and certain reptiles and stuff like that. And I started getting into snakes from then, my late teens and early 20s. I got started messing around with ball pythons. Never got around to breeding them or anything like that. I was just kind of trying to encourage myself to really get over that fear and kind of learn the animals themselves. And then from there, I just started learning about different species. And I think maybe when I was 22 or 21, I got around my first real experience of actually getting to see green tree pythons, in a store I went to. They had one for sale, and it was the first time I even actually heard of one. So it was kind of neat seeing it. It was a Biak, so it was, a nice mix of green and yellow. And I thought that was just absolutely incredible and beautiful. And I asked him how much it was, and it was way out of my budget. So I thought that would just be it for me. It would always be an animal I just saw once in a blue moon and never got to keep. But luckily, I was able to acquire one of my own one day, and my obsession with the green tree python started then.
So do you prefer locality cross, or designer?
Oh, I knew this was coming. I've always just been a basic locality when I started. Okay. My thing was I wasn't really looking too much into the big wow factors of the animals, all the crazy looking combos that people are coming up with to have these nice designers. I was just really fascinated with the animals themselves, how they can start out red or yellow and turn green. I thought that just basic change was super interesting and cool to me. So I started out very much just being a basic pure locality cross person, just mainly for the fact that I wanted to learn the animals. But as I started to learn the animals, I started to learn more about the designers and what comes with them. And now I'm just really looking forward to hopefully getting in the designer game. So hopefully the future holds some of that for me.
So, what localities right now do you have in the collection?
I have a 2BX of, well, 5 with the babies. I have a Sarong female, and then I just have a Jayapura Aru cross.
Okay.
So
Which one's your favorite?
that's a tough one. That's a tough one. My Jaya Aru was my first one, so he's always going to have a sweet sentimental spot for me.
Touche.
But my Sarong she was the first young Neo I had. I got her as a little yellow baby. And she's always just been absolutely wonderful and docile. My kids all have held her and love her very much, but her blues are so bright. So I think it's between those two for me. They're probably my two favorites.
When you do start adding designers, what is there like a line you're looking at? Do you like calico, blue line, high yellow?
I'm a big fan
All
of
of the
calico and
above.
blue lines. So big fan of them. I actually have one coming from Daniel DeLuca, and I am very excited about that one. It has a good mix of both blue line and calico genetics in it. And, Dan's just an amazing human being as it is. So just to be able to have one of his productions being able to come to my collection is, a godsend for me, and I'm appreciative for it. Really, really excited. So I think that's kind of the lines, the direction I'm going to go is probably working more with like calico blue line.
Yeah.
If I can get there, but that's the plan.
I have I don't know. I absolutely love high yellow.
They're
There's just
really
something
pretty.
about like a ray of sunshine on a branch for me that I'm just like, and then like Carly's, the high yellow king line. Oh my God,
Those
those
are
animals are
incredible.
incredible that she's gotten in.
Incredible. And some of the Neos she's produced too. Just breathtaking animals.
Absolutely.
So I definitely see where you're coming from on your opinion there. So
I mean, but I'd like to have a little bit of everything in the bloodline at some point, just to kind of play with different things,
Absolutely. Just to be able to have kind of diversity to do what you want, any direction you kind of want to take, right?
Exactly. And you just never know what's going to come out of a pairing, right?
No, exactly. And you want to have something nice to go with it, to complement it if you can, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
So at what point did you say, hey, I'm going to give this a shot with breeding these guys?
So that's kind of a funny story. I wasn't really planning on doing it for a little while. Like I said, I'm one of those people who really wanted to learn the species inside and out first. I wanted to know exactly how to take care of them all properly before I even thought about breeding. Because if there was any issues that arose while trying to breed, I didn't want to be completely in the dark and not even know what's natural and normal for the animal. So it wasn't really a thought in my mind for a little while, but also at the same time, to be able to know the species inside and out, you do have to breed them, because you are going to have to understand, the whole process of them hatching out of the egg, how to do everything properly, incubate them, and then most importantly, establish them. I think it was early this year, I started maybe questioning it and thinking about it a little bit. And I ended up finding a friend of mine, Casey Keast, on another really great person, if you guys don't know him. And he was in a situation where he was very female heavy and I was very male heavy. And, believe it or not, I reached out to him. And at the time we weren't really good friends. We just kind of knew of each other. And we chatted for, maybe a good month and a half with each other. And we decided we were going to just do a trade with each other and try and help each other out and breed chondros for our first time this year. And luckily we both succeeded and it worked out for the both of us. We both got a clutch out of it. So I'm very, very happy. And, thank you, Casey, because I honestly still to this day tell him the guy's absolutely crazy for taking a leap of faith like that on a stranger and being willing to make a trade. He lives a couple provinces over from me. So it wasn't like he's just down the street. We can go drive to each other. We actually had to ship him out and take a leap of faith and trust in each other. And he shipped the female out to me first, which was just crazy to think about somebody being willing to do that.
Took a leap of faith.
He took a leap of faith, and that's what I'm saying, that you find people in this hobby sometimes that make you change the outlook you have on humanity. There's a lot of negativity in the world right now, and especially finding someone like Casey who was just willing to just take a chance and show somebody else out there that he's willing to hope somebody else is a good person too. And it worked out. So, like I said, I'm very grateful for Casey. and the opportunity he gave me to be able to do this and educate myself on a breeding process. So that's probably when my thoughts all started early this year, talking with Casey, and we kind of figured out what we were going to do and try it out together. So
were you nervous in starting pairing, or?
Very much so. Yes. Like I said, I never bred reptiles before, so I had no idea what
You
to
just
really
went
do.
straight to chondros.
Just went right straight to the chondros, and
no experience. Let me just,
just send it. I love them. I like them. I'm just gonna go for it. Enjoy what you're working with.
I couldn't imagine, because I've
Yeah.
been breeding other species, and this has been daunting for me.
It's intimidating. It really is, because, like you said, you don't know what you're walking into, especially with chondros, right?
I've never questioned myself more in my life.
Yeah. I was like me. I was literally, I'd be coming in here and checking on the snakes every day, and asking people questions, and so I'll just like, just trust the process, brother. Just calm down, trust the process. You'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, but what is the process? I don't know this stuff yet, So it was definitely intimidating and nerve-wracking, but I had a lot of good support, so I'm grateful for that.
Do you find that this community is supportive of? I would say a good majority of them are supportive. Do you find that you've had that experience, or?
I do, yes. Most people I've reached out to and have the opportunity to speak with have been very, very polite and respectful to me, and very happy to chat with me and give me advice if I need it. A lot of people, like to come and ask me questions sometimes too, and I'm very grateful that people want to come and bounce things off me. And overall, I think the chondro community especially is fantastic. I've made some lifelong friends that I've never made in any other hobbies, and it was within just a couple of years of being in the chondro games. So, I am very grateful for it, grateful for the people I've met, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future.
Yeah, I think that's been a similar experience for me. I mean, obviously we met over pictures I was posting, my chondros and chondro talk. And I mean, even you've given me a little bit of advice as far as where I'm at. But yeah, same experience. Carly even one day was like, girl, you need to go in and pull those perches out of that enclosure. Like, those eggs are coming. Like, what are you doing?
That's when people will step up. Like, people genuinely care to see you have success. And it's nice to see that, because, a lot of people out there always are in some kind of a competition. And I found that most people that I've been lucky and fortunate enough to interact with in the hobby have just been wanting to see me do well, wanting to see others do well. And like you said, you'll have people like Carly will just chime in randomly and be like, hey, get those perches out of there, and just give
with the 25 eggs, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah. So, you got to be grateful for the people like that who are out there.
Your brother said he can confirm his panic and endless watching of the snakes in clutch.
Yeah.
Listen, we all do it, because every day, twice a day, I walk by and I poke my big ass head in my incubator window, and I'm looking at every single one of those eggs. Like,
oh yeah, that was me too. I was so bad for it. Like, my poor snakes, even when they were breeding, I was getting up at like 2 and 3 in the morning and sneaking over by the enclosures and just shining a flashlight in the corner, and just trying to see if they're locking. And if they're locking, I start doing a little party and dancing around the living room by myself. And
mine never actually hung their tails though, so they'd be like all twisted around each other, and I'm in there in the enclosure with my phone with the camera on, trying to
right in there,
get in where I can fit in, just to confirm, is there a lock or is there not?
Right. You got to confirm it though. That's the thing. You have to know. Who cares if we're invading their privacy?
Forget your personal space. I'm here for it. Like,
that's right. I'm rooting for you guys. So
yes, fully supporting. I'm just trying to get pictures.
I just want pictures to show everybody.
I gotta have a picture to post. Like,
that's right. I gotta let everyone know how well you guys are doing together, right?
Pretty much. So, how long from when you started pairing to when you got to the point where it was no return?
Jesus, I started pairing. Maybe it was like 4 weeks. Like, my pairing actually didn't last too long. When I think I was a little late putting them together, she was already building for a few weeks before I paired them. But when I put them together, I initially tried one of my other males, but he was going into shed. So it at the time I didn't know. It was very, very early stages of it. So I just grabbed him and put him in. He didn't even start dulling or anything yet. And within 2 days, he started the dull start, right? So they were completely ignoring each other. And I was like, well, all right, this ain't going to work. So I pulled him out. And then I just threw my other one in there. And they didn't lock up the first night. But the second night they locked up. And after that, I was just hoping for the best and kept them going. And then I reached out to Brian from Lucky Leviathans, and him and I have chatted off and on throughout the years at the time, and he was pretty much in the same position I was with his breeding process there. He had a pair starting out, and I was very fortunate that Brian was there to kind of walk me through it and talk me through what to do. And it was at that point where I realized can't go back, because I got somebody else now invested into helping me. Right. So I got a full send it at this point. And, I can't say enough good things about Brian. That guy was so patient with me and all the questions I had. I can imagine how many times he probably sat there and was like, bro, I answered this question yesterday for you, the day before that, and last week. And you're still asking me the same damn question.
It might be slightly different answer depending on how you ask the question.
That's right. But, he always showed up for me. He always answered all my questions. I'm very grateful for that guy. And like I said, I think it was him kind of showing me the support and the encouragement, and that you got this, brother. Don't back out now. Don't give up. Go all the way. You're making it the distance. It was him kind of showing me that support that kind of made me just realize I'm going to keep trying. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, I regroup and try again next year.
I felt like so like Bill was that to me, obviously Carly, there were a few other people that I kind of like bounced things off of. But I'm sure Bill was probably ready to strangle me if I sent him one more picture of her swelling and being like, are you sure I didn't miss an ovulation?
Yeah.
Like,
are you sure about that? That was me too. I was asking people. And
he's like, she didn't ovulate yet, damn it. Like, Jennifer. I was waiting for her to be like, would you fucking stop asking me? Like,
yeah. You're like, but I can't, Bill. I need to know. I'm so curious.
Brian said, we did it together. We're doing it together.
You got it, Brian. He's got more on the way coming already. That guy. Can you believe that?
Look, hi, Dad. It's Kenzie.
Hey, kiddo. That's awesome. She's at her mom's tonight, so she's not with me. So that's awesome to know she's watching.
Brian loves you.
I love you too, brother.
You sent him enough pictures of your female swelling that it's
that guy has seen so many pictures of my snakes. It's incredible. Like literally, he was so patient with me. I could not believe it. Because like he had his own going on. His ovulation was 3 days before mine ovulated.
I feel like for us, like for the most part, once they start, like now that I've seen ovulation, now I'm like, oh.
Now I know what it looks like,
But she, like for mine, I see why people miss them too, because yes. I don't know if you paid attention to how quickly yours started and how quickly it ended, but like she was doing the swell, but her actual ovulation started at like 11 a.m. And by the time I got home that night, she was already back down to a normal swell. Yep. So if I didn't have cameras set up, I would have missed it.
Yep. That was kind of my situation. I can't remember exactly what we did. We went out and did something that morning and the lights were still off when we left, so I didn't bother checking. And we came back later in the day and she was a lot bigger than normal, but not, huge or anything like that, where most people explain it. But she was still noticeably swollen to me. And I reached out to Brian, right? Hey, man, what is this? Is this it? Is this it? And he was like, that's it, brother. It's either going to keep ballooning up or she's on her come down right now from it. So just keep watching her. And, that I will admit I cried. I was so happy. I cried. I called my mom and my brothers and my dad. And, I was so proud of myself and excited. And, it was
Tom.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
I think 20 million people got a screenshot of my camera because it was like, you could literally see, it looked like a damn 2-liter bottle, and then it just like sucked off like the top of the 2-liter bottle. And I was like, oh shit, that's it. Like,
that is it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there at my desk in my office too.
That's right. How can you not though? That's exactly it. Like you partied yourself. Like even when my eggs hatched, I came in here, everybody was gone in the morning, and I wasn't even expecting them to be hatching that day. And I actually went to go walk out of the room and forgot to do something on one of the enclosures and turned around to come back in and noticed a head sticking out of the egg. But I didn't realize it was a head at first. I thought, oh crap, here's another one molding and, you know, getting some weird growth on it. I'm losing this one. And I went and I checked, and it was just a little head peeking out, and I looked at it and verified, and, you know, I did my little fist pumping and danced around in a circle in my snake room by myself. And you get excited about it. You know, it's a big deal when you do something like that.
Now, the ones that molded, did you do anything to try to salvage those, or was it just they kind of just tanked?
I did the old foot powder trick, and I think the one lasted another 2 weeks before it really started to change and go downhill. One, I kind of knew it was going bad right from the get-go. I think I lost that one on like day 5. When it was late, it had a big soft spot window in it and everything like that, so I didn't have much hope for it from the get-go. But the one that I lost near the end, that was kind of rough because it was one of my better looking eggs for a good majority of the incubation. And then it developed a little mold spot maybe halfway through, and then that never grew. That stayed just a small little spot, and I thought, all right, that's not so bad. Maybe I'll get through it, put a little foot powder on it. And then a few weeks after that, when it was, I think I was maybe like a week and a half maybe from when they hatched, and it went completely brown on me overnight. Came in the morning, it was all brown and sweaty, and it was just a goner. There was no point even thinking about trying anything at that point with it. So that was rough, but I mean, it was expected too, right? So
yeah, because I have foot powder on the one right now.
It helps. It definitely does. You know, I
mean, it's helped with like ball python eggs. So I was like, okay, and so it's that you have your egg, and it's just like this one end of the egg that had the window where the mold is.
Yeah.
So I cleaned off the mold with just a clean paper towel, and then I did the foot powder on it. It's sitting by itself now. Yeah,
that's what I did too. I isolated mine as well. I didn't want to chance any mold spreading or anything like that. And
well, mine's just because I'm OCD as hell, so now I'm going to be all up on that egg.
All over that egg.
Me and that egg are going to be like this, you know?
You're right in there again with your phone taking pictures of that poor egg.
At least I do the pictures to the incubator door.
Yeah, that's right. That's all right.
No, but I just like, you know, I want to be able to look at it without having to open the door of the incubator.
That's the hard part too, because especially when you got the humidity all high up in there too, it's really hard to see the eggs all the time properly.
I'm gonna invest like an automated squeegee on the inside of them.
That'd be cool, eh?
Somebody needs to come up with it, because I'm not a builder type. I'll buy it, you build it.
You build it, I'll buy it, patent it. No, that would help out so much.
Tell me how much it costs, I'll pay for it.
Doesn't even matter at this point.
Convenience, you know, so I don't have to open the incubator door.
No, see, I was so bad for that. I was constantly in there opening it and checking things, and I had Brian giving me crap all the time. Keep the door closed. Stop looking. Stop touching. Stop handling.
One of the groups, and I put it in my notes, like every time you open the incubator door, it's one dead egg, and I'm like, I only have 25 eggs. So
gotta keep this door closed. Oh man. Yeah, I have the same problem, Jen. Don't worry.
All right. Well, that's good to know. So I may still lose this egg, even if I gold bond flip powder shit out of it.
Be hopeful. If it hatches out, just name it gold bond.
24 eggs instead of 25.
24 neos you got to establish still. You looking forward to that?
No.
No, I don't blame you.
Not blame you. I mean, thankfully, at least I have like hatchling rack space, you know?
Right.
Because I have the little shoebox racks from when I was doing my ball pythons actively. So I was like, you know, at least I have rack space.
That's right. It'll work out. See, I got my rack, I think it was like a week before they hatched. I was so late and last minute on everything.
The planner in me would not allow that.
No. See,
like, I'm such a planner. I have crested geckos breeding. I have button quail eggs, hatching button quail eggs coming, so I can incubate. Because I have a chicken egg incubator because I have chickens.
Very nice.
Don't judge me. Anybody in the comments? Leave me, my pigs.
Loves her chickens.
Okay, leave us alone.
That's right.
If I ever post a video on my chicken rubbers, just keep it moving.
Just keep it moving, people. Hey, we support the chickens around here.
But I was like, $30 and I got 50 eggs. Jeez. So I was like, well, shit, I'll just hatch my own, gas them, throw them in the freezer.
Yeah. saves.
Some
It
have
makes
every food source known to man sitting in this house. Like,
hey, nothing wrong with that. Somebody's looking for something, they just got to message you, the one-stop shop.
that's it. And somebody actually was like, well, what if you don't, what if you don't need the crested geckos, or what if you don't need those quail? I said, well, shit, just, somebody somewhere is going to need them.
Somebody's going to need them. That's the thing. A lot of people are getting into feeding geckos to their chondros and to get them established and such now, right? So
no, I didn't go buy crested geckos for this reason. So I'll put that out there. My kids already had a male and a female, and I said,
why not?
Why not? I even posted, hey, if anybody has any that made it out of the egg but didn't make it, I'll take them off your hands. And people were like, why the hell do you want that? Like, that's weird. I mean,
maybe to you.
But at this point, circle of life, we're playing freaking Lion King theme songs in the background here.
That's right. If it didn't survive, it can at least get some use, for another animal to keep surviving.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God. All right. So you started with how many eggs?
I started with 8. I had 8 good eggs when I started. And then when they were all hatching, I was down to 6. And only 3 made it. But again, I am blessed for the 3 that did make it. I know I definitely made mistakes. So I learned a lot. Even if I didn't end up hatching out any, this would have been considered a big win for me this year. It's more than I've ever accomplished before with reptiles. But I think just the sheer fact of the knowledge I gained over the year was, something I can't take for granted, period. It was a lot that I learned. And like I said, I had great mentors. I had, Brian constantly helping me, checking in on me. I had Dan DeLuca, he's another really, really amazing person who was checking in on me every day almost with them and offering tips and advice. And, so it was nice. They kept me going. And, even though I made my mistakes, they were still kind of there to help point them out to me after the fact. And after I explained what I may have done or not done. And it was nice to get feedback from, a lot of people on things like that. But losing 3 was kind of rough, especially one I lost because it rolled itself in the egg after it had already pipped and came halfway out. So that was a really bitter pill to swallow, watching that one happen. Nothing worse than actually seeing a baby hatching out of the egg and being totally fine and making his way out, and then overnight rolling his egg and, drowning in it. So I learned that I need to put some precautions in place next time to make sure that eggs do not roll. So, again, a lot of novice mistakes I made, but, it's my first time, and I'll humbly accept that I made them and admit that I made them, because that's how you learn and grow in the hobby. So
you would say for mine, like the rails that are in there, to leave them in there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because I unfortunately even saw it moving, like the egg starting to move that night, and kind of questioned whether or not I should have maybe put something in there to maybe stop it. But again, my inexperience with knowing that would actually flip itself over like that and drown itself, kind of just led me to leave it be and hope for the best and see what outcome I got from it. Mm-hmm. And as much as it does suck to lose sometimes in aspects like that, it's always a win because you learn something. Yeah. So next season, that one egg that I might have lost that's going to roll is not going to roll next time, and I will hopefully hatch that one out. So I will accept that I lost one this time to save another one next time, hopefully.
I think we always learn.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're not learning, you're doing something wrong. That's the way I see it. You should always be learning. You're always going to hit a failure, but you can't technically call it a failure, because if you learn from it, it's not a failure.
Yeah.
But
it's been an experience. So I can only imagine for you, like how much more of a experience it's been.
It was an experience. It was, like I said, a lot of nerves, a lot of questions. Like I said, being completely new to breeding snakes, period, I did not even know what was going on half the time. There was so many terms that people were saying to me, and I was like, what is that? And Brian would be like, all right, and have to break it all down for me. And I'd be like, oh, I got it now. Thanks, man. And then somebody else would bring up a term like Dan, and I'd be like, all right, Dan, that's gibberish to me, man. I'm a noob still. What is that? And he would break it all down for me. And, but it was great. It was great to have the help, like I said, especially being new with all the nerves and the anxiety about everything. And like my brother confirmed, I was constantly checking, even when they were just, locking and breeding. I was constantly bugging them, even when the eggs were just sitting in the incubator on like day 5, I was in here like 400 times a day looking at them, being like, am I going to spot any mold spots starting within the next hour? And, like I was just so on edge about everything.
Now I have to go back through your Instagram and see if you're like a cornball like me and be like, 2-week post.
Yeah, that was like exactly what I was doing. I was just checking everything.
They say that they crash within the first 2 weeks. This bitch made it 2 weeks, bitches.
Right. I seen that post and I was like, yeah, I was the same way. As soon as that 2-week mark hit, me and my wife were like, yes, all right, we're in the clear hopefully now. And I still lost one after that, but that's okay.
I don't like, for me, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty open to the fact that I'm probably going to lose some. Like, if I don't lose any, I'm going to go play the lotto.
That's
I'm
right.
going to probably go to church on Sunday and on Wednesday night, like, I'm going to start dancing to Jesus. Okay.
Luck was on your side.
But for me, like, to post it, it's more so like a documentary. Like, okay, it's fresh in my mind, so this is what I'm experiencing at this point. So let me just put it out there,
Yeah.
It's like, it's a learning curve.
Absolutely.
So why not just document it so people who are coming in or who are going through the same thing right now,
they can learn from it.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of questions I had before I even got in touch with like Brian and Dan and got advice and help from them. And there was no answers online anywhere that I was looking. And I felt so lost so many times, and just, do I even try doing this still? Do I just wait until I kind of know more, or, but I knew at the end of the day, I did know some people who would be willing to guide me if needed. And I took a leap of faith on them as well, and it worked out. But yeah, it is. It's not for the faint of heart, Jen. The anxiety gets you. I'm pretty sure my wife even posted a picture to her story of me sitting in here in the middle of the night saying, if you're ever looking for him and he's missing, he's in the snake room checking eggs. And I was crouched straight down in front of the thing with my face right up to the glass. And, she had a good chuckle about it. But
what day did your baby start hatching?
What day? I think it was day 57. So it was pretty late.
Oh, God, don't say that.
Yeah. But things did not go according to plan. I had I was using these Govee temp gauges, right? To gauge my temperature, my humidity in the incubator and in the nest box or the egg box. And within 2 days of each other, both of them crapped out on me.
Shut the hell up.
So really? I had a digital one, and I was on day 41. So I just dropped my temps down slightly as well, just getting ready for the, the little bit of metabolism or just their own heat generating.
Yeah. What is it, like metabolic transfer?
That's it, metabolic. I was kind of close. But
tomato. I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. So I was preparing for that. And like I said, within 2 days, they both crapped out on me. So I tried to put the digital one I had kicking around in there, and it crapped out on me later that night. So I just went the last, whatever it was, 16 days blind, hoping for the best. I was just using my infrared gun and just temp checking the eggs themselves. And
oh, God bless.
Yeah, that was the worst part of it all, I think, because I was right near the end zone there, and everything just started to go wrong for me technically.
And I was worried about that, so I have a sensor push and a Govee in each egg box, and in between the egg boxes on the incubator and the next shelf down.
Yeah, the more the better. Honestly, the more you have, the better. Because like I said, if you have one or two crap out, like what happened to me, at least you still have others in there to get reliable readings from.
Yeah.
Right? But I did not have any, and unfortunately, it was not in a place to go out and buy a whole bunch more, and hope they didn't crap out on me either, and just put some faith that my infrared gun was still pretty good, and my temps where I set them were proper, and that my herp stat was all set properly, and everything was okay. So luckily, it worked out.
57 days.
What's that?
Keith, if I have to wait 57 days, I'm gonna have like burn marks on the damn floor over here.
Yeah, it was stressful because so many people were like, "Hey, you should probably start cutting those, man. You're getting really late." And I just kept thinking, hey, my temps probably aren't as high as most people's, right?
So
Like
what were your temps at?
So I initially started at 87.1, and then by the time everything started going to crap, I believe they dropped down to about 86-ish. So
Okay.
it was close. Like my infrared gun was reading 86.2. So, accuracy wise, I always give or take a few degrees on it, or point of degrees. But I was pretty much around 86, and I think that definitely slowed down everything in the end a lot, because there was other people who's had, like Brian, like I said, he was only a few days ahead of me with the ovulation and everything, but his ended up laying something like 6 days before mine did, right? But his temps were always consistently steady all the way through, where mine, I had that big fluctuation drop at the end.
Mark wants to know, what are you planning on doing differently next time?
Hatching out all of them, not just 3. I plan to do a lot of things different, Mark. I want to, like I said, I'm definitely going to add some things in my incubating trays to make sure that I don't have eggs rolling. I'm definitely going to invest in a lot more temperature gauges and humidity gauges. Make sure I got those on standby. And I think I'm going to definitely refrain from pulling a me and Jen and going in that incubator almost constantly.
Listen, I didn't say I was going in all the time.
Yeah, that's right. So I got to try to refrain from that. And then another thing that I learned.
Don't lump me into this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You wrote yourself into it. But I'm also going to not do as much candling. I was doing a lot of it.
Okay.
Like I said, just paranoia, lots of paranoia, especially with my temps not having the proper readings that I should have been having. I was extremely paranoid that I was going to be losing all of those eggs. So I was pretty much candling like every other day just to double check within those last 16 days.
Yeah.
And obviously I did not know how bad that was for them inside the egg. I thought I was doing a good thing, just checking quickly and making sure they were all still okay and surviving. And I was informed and educated after that will cause them to do a lot of flipping around in their eggs, and that will cause a lot of issues and a lot of dead babies in the end game. So I think that's probably what happened with the 2 other eggs that didn't make it. And I think that was just because of a lot of excess candling. I mean, I'm not for sure. I don't know. I'm very not inexperienced with hatching out green trees.
I mean, we say the same thing with even like ball python eggs, to not candle them all the time.
And like
I
I said,
did candle the one with that I put the foot powder on, just because I'm like, I'm not going to try to save this if the veins aren't there. I'm just
exactly. There'd be no point to it, right? So that was my thing too. I was constantly candling that one that I had that was kind of going bad like that too. And for the longest time, it still had really good vein structure, and I saw the neo moving around inside of it when I candled it and everything like that. And to me, I was like, oh, sweet, it's moving, it's alive. And then I had other people telling me, you don't want it to be moving so much like that, man. It's going to tangle itself, right?
Chuck said to DM him, he's got acrylic square rods that he uses for egg bumpers in the egg box.
Awesome. I will definitely reach out to you, Chuck. Thank you. I'm sorry, guys. I can't see the comments. I got a bunch of boxes stacked up in front of my screen here, so that
no, you're good. That's fine.
So
I got you, Keith.
Thanks, Jen.
So are you going to try to do the same pairing next year, or are you going to do the original male to the female, if the female bounces back, obviously?
I'm not sure yet. She's been bouncing back phenomenal so far, fingers crossed. I've been very lucky. She hasn't missed a meal yet. She's had 2 sheds for me. She's doing great. She still hates my guts, so she hasn't changed. Things are looking good. Personality's still the same. I think, I don't know.
Typical moody woman,
Oh, she's.
And something. I can say it.
Yeah, you can say it. See, my wife would say it too. My wife actually went to go help the other day, change the water dish for her while I was doing the babies, and she struck at her. And like, my wife does not normally, she's not scared of the snakes at all, right?
No, but you still jump.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, when she jumped. She took the dish of water and threw it behind her as she jumped, and unfortunately I was what was behind her, so I was pretty soaked after that. But her temperament's still the same, her personality's still the same, so I think she's bouncing back just fine. I don't know though. I don't know what pairing I'm going to go with yet. I'm hoping to do the original planned pair that I was hoping for with my Jaya Eru. I very curious to see how that would turn out. I've seen a lot of other people's gyro biacs, and they're really nice looking snakes. So
Yeah.
I really want to do that too. But I'm also not 100% sure if that male's ready yet. He is only 3, pushing 4 though. But, he's the laziest male I think I've ever seen in my life. He very rarely cruises. He just sits there and hangs out most of the time and just wants to eat. So I don't think he's quite ready. The other male, he's always cruising and going and in seasons. So that's why I figured he was the better one to take to go use last time. But I don't know. I have hopes he'll be ready for next season, my gyro, but I don't know. If he's not ready, I'm just going to repeat the same pairing because it worked out, and can't complain about it.
All right, let's pull up some babies.
All right, you want to see some babies? I got them right here too if you want to see them.
Oh, well, hell, pull them up.
All right, we'll start here.
I'll actually do this.
All right. So here's the first one.
Zoom in a little bit there.
Can't really see him too well, but there you go. Sorry, my phone ain't picking it up all that good.
There you go. In focus now.
There you go, that better?
So all yellows,
All
red,
yellows.
all yellows.
All
Okay.
yellows. That's all I have in the collection, all yellows. So it's standing strong here. I know Mark would be proud.
Look great again.
That's right. So yeah, this was the first one. This was the first one that hatched out for me, the first one that pipped. So this one's got a special place for me. This is my first ever production.
That one's gonna stay, right?
I don't know.
Oh,
Between
come
him
on.
or another one. And the other one's because he actually was pretty much almost dead in the egg when he hatched.
Let's just keep them both.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm debating. We'll figure it out when the time comes. Right now, it's just I got to get them establishing, and that's the hard part. None of them are eating on their own.
It has a name.
This one does not have a
If he
name
names
yet.
it, it stays. You know how that goes.
That's right. But I mean, Mark, you're free to throw some name suggestions out there, and I'll gladly take them, brother. This second one does have a name. My daughter, Mackenzie, who popped into the chat, actually named this one Chaz the Spaz.
Did you really just tell him to drink the devil's juice? Like magnesium citrate is literally the freaking devil's juice.
Okay, right on that. Oh,
You know,
man.
maybe it's a good thing you can't read the comments because we're literally sending people for freaking suicide missions.
Set him on a suicide mission. Oh,
And don't
my
ask
goodness.
me how I know about magnesium citrate, but listen, no.
Nope, not
If
having
you ever want to get at somebody, you pour a little bit of magnesium citrate in one of their drinks.
it. Right, you get them. You get them. Oh my goodness. So this one here, this was the second one, and my daughter named him Chaz the Spaz because he's a little bit spazzy,
Oh,
but
he's
he's
so little.
yeah, he's a pretty cool little guy.
He's got a cool patterning. Super
Yeah.
busy.
He's got a busy one. I think the next one's got the best one though. And I called.
Tiffany said to ask ask you what you're chugging right now. Are you drinking the devil's juice?
I am drinking chocolate milk, everybody.
Oh, well.
And you can't go wrong with that. My family all likes to make fun of me because, I've been hooked on this stuff since I was young, and I will drink that over anything.
Listen, I'll drink pretty much anything over magnesium citrate too.
Yeah. You and me both. So then here's the last one, Jen. And this one, we named him Oogie Boogie because he has, if you flip his, see if he stays on there. Okay. Flip him upside down. His head pattern kind of looked like
Pattern.
Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's kind of hard to see it, but kind of had that little like face kind of shape to him. So we named him Oogie Boogie.
So
But he was not
you
doing
named
too
him, so
good.
now he's gonna stay.
Yeah, I think he'll probably be the one to stay. Like I said, when I was dealing with them when they were hatching, I noticed there was a few that weren't hatched out, so I figured they were just goners, and I wanted to cut them open and see what happened.
Yeah.
And when I went to peek on this one, I cut it open, and it was all tangled up. Probably another product of my unnecessary candling. But he was pretty tangled up. His mouth was, wide open. To me, I was like, this guy's a goner. He's dead as all heck. They don't sit there with their mouths gaping all open unless they're not with you anymore. Yeah. So I cut the egg pretty good. Like Edward Scissorhands that egg. I went crazy on it. I got him out.
In the name of saving the baby.
That's right. In the name of saving the baby. And I put it down on the top of the rack there, and I was just kind of looking it over and like slowly just kind of wanting to unwrap and untangle everything that was around it. And then I thought I saw it like just twitch very slightly. And, obviously I was like, all right, I'm seeing things. I'm just being too hopeful right now at the moment. And I just kept looking at it, and I waited, and maybe 20 seconds went by, and I noticed it started doing a little twitch again. So then it dawned on me that it's still alive and it's fighting for its life right now. So I quickly just unwrapped, untangled everything I could off it as best as I could, and put it back in the egg as best as I could, and tried to close it back up, and I threw them in a deli cup with some paper towel and put them back in the incubator. And within a few hours, it had its head poked up and perked up and tongue flicking and was alive and well. And the next day it was climbing on out of its egg. So I got very lucky with that one. And that's probably why that one's going to be the one that stays with me, because it should not have been here with me as far as I'm concerned. So again,
and being brand new to the game on that aspect, I mean, that's something to be proud of still,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because people tell you all the horror stories of breeding chondros and all the things that can go wrong. And I did not expect to run into so many issues on my first time doing it. But to have experienced something like that on my first breeding, season was a blessing to me in disguise, because that's not something I got to worry about going forward. I got that out of the way. I've learned how to deal with it and figure it out. And going forward now, I'm comfortable if I ever get in a situation like that, and I'm not so worried to deal with it anymore. And, like I said, at the end of the day, I may have lost 3, but I very well should have lost 4 and did not. So I take that as a big blessing to myself, and I will take that any day of the week that I was very fortunate enough to intervene with that when I did. I was literally right on time. If I maybe would have waited a few more minutes, I don't know if he would have survived. So,
well, that's something for sure. The highs and the lows, right?
Very, very much a lot of them. Yes.
So feeding trials, we've gotten there, right?
We are there.
How is that looking?
Next question, please. No. They're doing okay. They're still not eating on their own yet. I've got all of them to strike at it now, which is, a big, good step in the right direction. But the first maybe 3 or 4 times I tried to get them to eat, they all
Wait a minute. Hold on. Pump the brakes. How many times have you tried to feed them?
How many times have I tried to feed them?
Yeah, I'm just picturing this times 25.
Oh, God. I try to feed them every 7 days, like get them on their own to eat every 7 days.
I'm going to ask my doctor for some more Xanax. Jesus.
You might need it, Jen. You might need it. It's not for the faint of heart. Everybody warned me, and I was like, you see other people out there and they have very good luck with some of them. They hatch their babies out and right away they're all taken to it, no problems. So I was very hopeful that at least maybe one would be that way. And unfortunately, they did not want to cooperate with me. So none of them are eating that way. But I attempt every 7 days to give them to feed on their own. Normally, I know a lot of people say to do 5, but because they're not actually eating on their own right now, I'm not doing it as 5 because I am assist feeding in between as well. But I'm also assist feeding a small amount and then trying to give them enough time to get themselves hungry again to actually want to pursue the food. And initially, they all just ran when I tried to feed them. They would all just run. Like as soon as I open that drawer and put the mouse in, they'd smell it and they would take off running.
This is stressing me out.
Yeah, it was a pain. It was stressful.
The idea of this is really stressing me the hell out.
My wife can confirm. She probably heard me cuss it up a storm here so many times, just trying to get them to stay in the tub and stop running.
And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God.
You're just sitting there like, man, I got to do this 25 times, huh?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, good luck to you though, Jen. I honestly, I think you'll probably have better luck. You got 25 of them. You got better odds at some of them taking.
Better odds, The odds are in my favor. At least
That's
there's
right.
25 of them.
They sure as heck weren't in mine, so hopefully they are in yours.
But the odds might still not be in my favor. They might all get all the way to D-Day and then, feel like Better luck next year, Jen.
That's right. Sorry, Jen.
Mark said, did you pip them all after you saw the first head poke out? Or
No,
did you let them
I
pip?
left them. So when I saw the first pip, by the time the first day was done, I saw 3 pipped, which was 1 and 2, and then the one who rolled himself. The next day I left them as well, and I saw them starting to try to pip on their own, the one other egg, and the other 2 were not at all. So I waited 2 days after the first pip to cut the rest of my eggs, and the one survived, which was that one there who was almost pretty much dead, and the other 2 just never made it. They never made it out or anything. So I don't know if I waited too long or if I'm still really not too sure, but I honestly don't even think I'm going to try and self-pip any next attempt. I think it's better to just let them ride it out and do it on their own. If they're healthy and meant to make it out, they will make it out on their own, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do at that point yet. I haven't gotten that far.
I was the same way. I really didn't know because I kept hearing so many conflicting sides, right? Some people saying that cutting was more beneficial, and other people are like, well, if you cut too early, you're going to kill the neonate. So why would you even bother risking that? And then I'm in the situation like, well, if I don't cut and it's trying to get out and doesn't get out, then it suffocates, and it's a lose-lose anyways, right? So, but it's just
I have no idea what I'm going to do.
It's just a matter of your preference, honestly, I feel. Just if you feel like you want to cut them and hope for the best, go for it. But then again, I'm not experienced enough to really make that call, and but
there's such a window, like they can come out as early as 45 days.
Absolutely.
And then people like up to 57, 60.
Yep.
There's a lot of growth.
There's a lot.
Time period. So it's
Absolutely. Like I question if my pipping those other eggs is what made them not come out in the end. I don't know if I pipped them too early because they didn't finish absorbing all that yolk, and they ended up I don't know how all of that works exactly, but I strongly feel that it was a user error. I feel like I probably did something wrong. I'd rather blame myself than the animals and nature, because if I can blame myself, I'll find a reason to learn something from it in the end. So that's the way I try to be. But I don't think I'm going to self-pip next time. I think I'm just going to let them do it on their own and see what happens, because I've heard of other people having some pip on like day 55, and then like you said, others don't start pip until like day 60, and I've seen and heard of people having clutches do that, which is a crazy, a timeline between the two. Like you said, there's a lot of growth that happens between then, right? And something Brian mentioned to me that I never thought about was the inconsistency of how I had my egg box probably set up. I had too big of an egg box for the amount of eggs I had, and if I had a smaller one, the temp wouldn't have been varied so much between all of the eggs, right? So like he mentioned to me, some eggs maybe were a little bit hotter than others, which is why they were pipping and coming out when the other ones still weren't fully developed properly yet, and they probably needed a few more days. So it wasn't like he was placing blame or anything like that, or trying to say I did anything wrong. It was just kind of a suggestion that maybe that is something that may have affected some hatching out and other ones maybe not being ready to go yet. So
even the airflow in the incubator.
Absolutely. And that's another thing he touched on, right? And like I said, I had a very big box and I only had the 6 eggs in it, and they were all spaced out pretty good. And that's my reasoning behind it, is because the airflow, I wanted to make sure there was enough adequate airflow for them. But having them so far spaced out could also be making a big difference in your temperatures, right? So I definitely do agree with what he was saying. And like I said, I put a lot of it on my own user error. And I'm just grateful to be that way, because I've learned, and next year I know I'm using a smaller box if I have the same amount of eggs, or just try
next year you're going to get 25.
Oh, Jen, if I get 25
I'm
eggs,
going to wish that on everybody. I wish everybody gets a 25 egg clutch.
And they all have to try to establish 25 stubborn neos.
Yes. And I hope next year I get an 8 egg clutch.
It's not that bad.
I'm okay with 8.
Honestly, I can't even imagine sitting here trying to do 25. Like, I'm in here sometimes just like half an hour on just one.
Carly even was like, I could not imagine having to do feeding trials with 25 babies on my first go around. Like,
yeah,
like, God bless you. Like,
that's a lot.
I'm in
You
a
know,
lot of wine and a lot of Xanax in my house because there's going to be
you're gonna be needing it. That's stressful. It is so stressful because you just want them to do so well, you know. And like, there's so
Yes.
many times I'd get like, I'd put it in there and like I'm not shoving it down their throats or anything. I'm just trying to get it into a good spot in their mouth where they can't spit it. And
So, I mean, I unfortunately had one that I bought that ate once for me, and then it went downhill.
oh man,
So I have the assist feeding
experience in it. And
down to Fine Science. That one, a year later, it ended up rolling on me. I mean, it like if it prolapsed its entire intestinal tract, it literally.
That's bad, eh? Oh man.
Yeah.
They're stubborn though. That's the thing. Like they are so stubborn sometimes. Some just don't want to do well.
Or something like internally that nobody would have known, because as we progressed, like it was doing like weird, like it almost would like corkscrew on itself, like
Really?
a spider ball python would.
Yeah.
Like it would literally like.
That's interesting. He's probably had something internal then.
Panels, like everything was good, but yeah, it just like would like do one of those numbers.
That's really interesting.
And then it would like half hang off the perch, and then it got to the point where
you just knew there was something wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, I gave poor guy a fighting chance, but
that's all you can do, really. And then you don't feel so bad either if they don't make it, because you literally do all you can do.
When I came in, like it started shedding, literally, like it would shed, and then 2 weeks later it would shed, and then 2 weeks later it would shed and shed. And we went through like 5 shed cycles. And like I noticed the night before, like I was checking on it twice a day. Like, okay, we're going to do this. We're still doing this, little guy, right. I checked on it that night, and I was like, it was literally just like, I'm like, you just need to let yourself go, my friend.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I came in the next morning, and I was like,
Gonzo.
Bittersweet, because you spend all that time trying to get this animal.
Get them going and get them back, but
yes, but
nice
at the same time,
he's not suffering, right?
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
That's the way I try to look at things too. Like, it's never nice to lose an animal, but if they're suffering and stuff like that, like sometimes it's better off that they don't have to go through that stuff and suffer. And that's a lot of the time they won't make it very long, anyways, even if they do, right? So
I mean, we made it almost a year.
Yeah, that's really good. Like that's good testament to what you're doing over there. So
at one point I was like, okay, we're gonna bounce back. We're gonna get this. And you'll never go anywhere because blood, sweat, and tears literally into you.
That's right. And then he just does you dirty in the end,
Well, and for a little while we did good. Like I would get it started, and I would sit there, like literally it got to the point where we were in such a routine. I could sit here with the animal in my hand, sitting right here.
Yep.
I could assist feed, like get it started, and it would sit there in my hands and eat.
Nice.
Just sitting there.
Yeah.
And as long as I held still and I just sat there and watched it, it would swallow its food and then kind of perch around my fingers. And
that's awesome.
But yeah, then it just got to a point where it.
See, that's hard though, because then you get that attachment too, right? When you're literally feeding them in your hand.
I would get bit. We were bonded. Like,
that's the hard part, and then you lose them.
Right? Blood sacrifice every feeding.
You're gonna be in for more of those. 25 of them. Hopefully
maybe
not.
24.
No, don't say that.
24.
I have hopes it makes it for you.
We'll see. I'll document it.
There you go. I'll be watching.
See how it goes.
I'm sure I'll be all right.
Crust the egg one day. I'll know what happened.
Yeah, I'll know what happened, and then we'll just hope for the other 24.
But it was cool though to see it like that many eggs.
I know that would have been really, really cool.
Well, and she was like in the nest box, so she like launches out, and that's where I got the picture on my Instagram where she's like kind of upside down because she had tried to eat me alive. And I'm like, I have eggs. Woo! I have eggs.
Bite me, I don't care. I have eggs.
I'm doing the happy dance, And then I pulled the nest box off, and I was like, holy shit, that's
I got eggs. Holy crow. Oh man. See, that would be so exciting though. Like, but at the same time, like knowing that you got to now try to establish 25, that'd be.
It is
I don't
like
know if I'm excited or
it's
scared.
both. It's both. Honestly,
Yeah.
like it's kind of intimidating.
It would
Like
be.
I've been completely like honest about that. Like even for me having prior experience with breeding reptiles and doing all this, like with this being a whole new species for me at this level, it's intimidating.
It is.
It really is intimidating.
It absolutely is. And that's, a big part of it with a lot of people, and why a lot of people actually like to try to get into doing them, because it's not easy to do. And it's definitely a testament to your resilience and what you're willing to go through to try to establish an animal that you actually care for and the species you care about. And, it's not easy. Some people make it look very, very easy. Cheers to them, because it ain't me.
I think I've got like 20 million more white hairs since this
That's right. Oh man, I'm just losing all my hairs. Look at me from it.
But it is different. Like for you, this is your first run at this. For me, like with the ball pythons, now I'm comparing like the excitement I feel off of this. And even like when my female, I got her back on food and she's slamming food, like I was excited. Like, yes, we've made it through another benchmark. Where the ball pythons, it's like, here's your rat,
Just moving on, another day in the room.
Good job, yay. All right.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. It's the pride you take in the species itself, right? Like you said, for it being kind of a newer species, and people hear so many horror stories about trying to breed chondros, and now going through it. Like I've gone through some of them myself with my first year doing it, and I'm sure you'll have. Hopefully not, but I'm sure you may run into some bumps in the road too. And and you never know. Anything can happen with them. But that's, to me, why I am so fascinated with them, because they are just not an easy species to work with, right? You never know what they're going to do. They can just bounce on you so quickly, and to me, that's interesting. I really like that. I always enjoy a challenge, and working with chondros is definitely a challenge. So I really enjoy doing it.
Well, we are hitting our hour. So is there any other pieces of information that you would like to share?
I think that's about it. I mean, just want to see everybody do well and succeed out there. So hopefully everybody does just that in 2026, and we all have a good year.
Well, if you want to let everybody know how they can find you.
You can just find me on Instagram at Handy Exotics, and send me a message, reach out, and I'll always respond.
All right, Keith, I'm going to throw you backstage for just a minute, and then I will hop back there. Other than that, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck and hope for your clutch coming here. Hopefully they all hatch out for you. All 25, not 24. 25, Jen, you're getting them all.
Oh, well, I'll be messaging you.
I'm looking forward to it. That's right. You'll be sending me all the videos. Yeah, I'm trying to feed this one. This is number 15. Still not eating it. You curse me.
Damn crested gecko leg.
That's right. That's right. You'll do all right. But thank you so much for having me, Jen, and thank you for everybody who tuned in tonight to be a part of this with us. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you so much, Keith. Give me a minute, okay? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Chondro Corner. This was an amazing final episode for me. Thank you guys for all the support in the last year. Chondro Corner is not going anywhere. They are still here, still thriving, and Herp Collectors is still killing it. Again, I appreciate the support. Thank you, Mike, for letting me have the honor of coming onto the network and supporting this for the last year. It's been fun. It's been a great learning experience, and I look forward to doing it again when my schedule frees up just a hair. Other than that, thank you guys again, and have a great night.
Chondro, corner where we rise and grow. Twist and turn, let the passion flow. Chondro, corner watch the future shine. Every scale a story, one of a kind.
From the shadows we move, striking out bright. In every twist we find the light. Breeding the best, gotta have patience in this game. Chondro Corner, where we make our name. Chondro Corner, Chondro Corner, Chondro Corner, Chondro Corner. Chondro Corner.